Hello and welcome to another episode of FPL Escapades. My name is 𝗧𝗘𝗔𝗡𝗥 and today I'm joined by Anand to discuss FPL assets for Game Week 34. Anand, welcome back, man. Game Week 33 was a bumpy ride for me personally. We'll talk about that. But how was the Game Week 33 for you? And what are your plans going into Game Week 34 and 35?
Yeah, so 33 was not a big game week for me, just a decent one, 58 points. And guess what? I had Dallas on my bench,
Oh,
and he gave a clean sheet. But I couldn't have predicted that because I started with Rashford and Bruno. So clearly, I wanted some other sort of return. And perhaps I influenced you in keeping Dallas on the bench and also probably for doing a transfer. How was your game week, Kshatrij?
my game week was actually pretty bad, and I wish now looking back that I hadn't made a transfer to get in Greenwood because I was going to play five at the back originally. That was my plan, and in that scenario, Dallas was my first substitute, and he would have played and returned 6 points. So yeah, I think it was in general a week where people scored a lot of low points. But for me personally, my captain Jota, Gutfield actually flopped big time. I ended up with just one pointer and two as captain. My week was saved by Castana and Iheanacho big time, and I think most of the FPL managers have either Wood or Leicester to thank that they were able to score a decent run in this game week. Wolves, yeah, like now going back, I think 2 to 3 weeks back to our conversation. Now I feel that Wolves' defense is definitely not the strongest, and whereas Wolves do not have anything to play for the last five game weeks. They can't get relegated. They cannot qualify for Europa. So I think that we'll be seeing some new faces as well. So yeah, I'm thinking that Semedo might be a weak link for me right now. But looking at the current pool of players that I have and how they line up, I'm pretty happy with that. So after City and Spurs blanks, Lucas Moura, Kane, the likes of these players are ready to feature back again. Lingard is going to be back in my playing 11. So will Watkins. So I have a lot to choose from right now. But yeah, Semedo again that trying to attack fixture does play West Brom. So that is a pretty juicy fixture to not play Semedo. But like we've been seeing that Wolves are not doing pretty great at the back, and West Brom are definitely scoring a lot of goals. So yeah, in two minds definitely, but yeah, I can do see myself, wave out a clear picture as to what I want from Game Week 34. Definitely not going to do any transfers as of yet. I am this is my bus team. So yeah, the captain's armband is on Kane. Iheanacho again, blessing from Winter, and definitely I don't think I'll be getting rid of him anytime soon. Watkins starts, Fernandez, Lucas Moura, Lingard. So I'm planning to go with four at the back right now. But yeah, whenever I look at this team and whenever I see Semedo and the fact that they're playing West Brom away, uh, that is a cause for concern because with West Brom, you do not really know Mathis Pereira, man. He's scoring some goals in the last 3 or 4 weeks now. So yeah, it'll be critical for Wolves. Might not keep a clean sheet, but then again, I do expect some offensive returns from Semedo as well. I hope Wolves pull up their socks, and but yeah, definitely, I for one am a little bit tensed that we might be getting new faces off the bench, or maybe people starting for teams like Wolves who have nothing to gain and nothing to lose. Now, what are your thoughts, Anand, when you look at the team that I have lined up for Game Week 34?
Yeah, so first of all, Jitesh, I feel you were really unlucky that your captain blanked. So it was blank game week 33, but your captain blanked, my captain blanked too. Um, that wasn't something that we were expecting. And especially with Jota, I feel he got a lot of chances in the first half. So yeah, you were pretty unlucky with that. I think it was the right, in the hindsight, if you go back and if you look at the decision, I think it was the right decision. Newcastle did get away with that. Although, you know, when the match was about to end, it felt like Liverpool got away with one because that goal that Wilson scored.
Yeah.
I don't know why it was ruled out, but yeah, the rules are like that at the moment. It's just a one-line rule. There are no conditions applied, so that's the bit. Anyway, coming back to your team, your cause of concern regarding Semedo is absolutely valid. Um, and like some really strong points, especially about the fact that the team is on beach and may not may try and change the shape or bring in some new defenders and give others a chance. Especially after a 4-0 drubbing, definitely the manager wants to make a statement. So that's a cause of concern for sure. But yeah, again, Semedo is somebody who cannot be at fault um, for this, because I remember the first goal that Wood scored. It was more to do with the centre backs at fault, and he sold them very cheap, the
Yeah.
centre backs, and then he moved past them and scored a goal. Although Wood's looking really lethal, he's very clinical at the moment. Um, so yeah, these are the things that I felt, and you were spot on with his analysis. And rest, the most interesting thing is you're so angry with Jota that he's on your bench this time around. So yeah, what's your thought process about fielding an attacking player like Jota and even Trent? That's my other question too, because
Yeah.
you've benched Trent too, and you've benched Jota, and you've benched Greenwood. So yeah, like benching three really attacking players at the moment. So what's your thought on that?
I personally feel that the Liverpool United game might be a nil-nil draw or a 1-1 draw. So yeah, with the kind of form, I mean Greenwood definitely. So basically the thing is that I really do want to play both Jota and as well as Greenwood, but I think that it will be such kind of a high stakes game, and even though United might have to settle for the second place, they would definitely like to push for as many points as they can get and be close to the champions. Uh, so yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I've thought about playing Jota or Greenwood. But to triple up or double up on two teams, so I initially thought of benching either Lucas Moura or Watkins and play Trent and Jota and Greenwood as well. So that is a kind of tinkering that remains to be done. But yeah, personally, I don't feel that there are a lot of points that might come from Liverpool United game. I hope that I'm wrong and United we get all of us get lots of points and at the end United end up winning. So that will be a dream. But
Also,
yeah,
yeah. Also, I just wanted to add, I think your team's not just set up for 34, but your team's pretty set up for Gameweek 35 and the blank 36 as of now. Because as far as I can see, and what we've seen so far from Ben Zellin's spreadsheet, what we've seen is four teams are going to blank in Gameweek 36. That's going to be United, Leicester, Chelsea, and Arsenal. And if I can see, you just have three players from United: Bruno, Shaw, and Greenwood, and you have two from Leicester in Castagna and Iheanacho. So you have five players from the blank game week, and heading into game week 36, you have three transfers. So because you're not going to transfer anyone, or are you going to transfer anyone this game week?
this game week, I don't think so. I
Okay.
wanted to get in a City asset, but yeah, looking at the lineup that is released now, and another game being on the weekend, and then they play Champions League again. So what we were discussing about, so that makes it a little tricky for me to uh, get some a hold on Pep Rule. But I think like Jesus and Sterling seem to be safer options for the Premier League since they're not starting today in the Champions League. So yeah,
Yeah. So
but
so since
I'm willing to bank a free transfer.
Yeah. So because you don't have a free hit left, you don't have a wild card left, and heading into game week 36, you have three free transfers. So one for game week 34, one for 35, and you have one for 36 too. So you have three free transfers, and you have five players blanking in game week
But
36. So
I can use only two, right? So I'll have to do a transfer somewhere in the
yeah,
middle.
but the thing that I was trying to say is like maybe in game week 34, sorry, maybe in game week 35, because 34 is just coming and you're banking one in 34. So maybe when game week 35 is about to come, you can maybe get rid of one of those five players
Yeah.
and probably get in a game week 36 player who's not going to blank in game week 36. So you can go that way. Yeah. So sometimes when we foresee so much ahead, like thinking 3 game weeks ahead. Sometimes because of that we don't end up bringing the players that we want. So ideally, yeah, definitely you should in 35 you should bring in somebody that you really like. But if you also keep in mind about the 36 blank, um, you can easily you can easily maneuver that way. But the best part that I found is you have 3 free transfers, and all you need to do is just remove 2 players. Okay, so even if next week you bring in somebody else in game week 36, you can still just remove 2 players from the current slot of 5, and you can still get away with the blank by having 11 players playing. Because if you remove 2 double game week players, and sorry, two blank game week players, you will just have 3 blank game week players remaining. So you are in a very good position, I personally feel. So yeah, I think it's a good ploy to bank a transfer this game week.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And with Chelsea and City both playing Champions League next week as well. So I personally haven't really targeted anybody from Chelsea in a long, long time since the start of the season in Timo Werner. But what are your thoughts, Anand? What are your plans for the upcoming game week, and what does your team look like?
Yeah. So like you, even I am a bit confused at the moment about who to start because I have 6 players from the United Liverpool match. I have 3 from Liverpool and 3 from United. The feels like a little bit handicapped here, but then there is potential elsewhere, and it's a good squad of 15 players, and that is what I feel comfortable with the 15 I have. Yes, there are some players that I am a bit scared of. Like Harry Kane. I don't have a Kane in my team. I don't have Son in my team. Even Vardy. I really like Vardy. Um, because even in the last match, I think Vardy owners were unlucky. He did take a lot of shots, but yes, they were not so easy shots. And yeah, maybe some at one particular moment he could have controlled it better and then maybe taken a shot. But then at the end of the day, he was in the right position, and most of the time when Vardy gets the ball in the right areas, he ends up scoring. And he has a good fixture against Southampton. Although Southampton will be rested um, more than Leicester, probably because Leicester also had a semi-final match, um, and also Leicester also has a final in the coming days. So I don't know how Leicester will go in this match. But yes, these are 3 players because Tottenham playing Sheffield and Vardy playing Leicester. Also at the same time, City's playing Palace. So although most of the big boys of City is playing in the semi-final, and we expect them to play again in the second leg. But yes, if City ends up thrashing PSG today, maybe they'll not be worried about the second leg, and they can field a strong squad and just wrap it up. They just need to win 2 more matches out of the next 5, and United has to win all 5. Even then, City will end up winning the title. So 2 matches, but yeah, I feel the likes of Jesus. You were discussing about this earlier as well. The likes of Jesus and all. I think they can get a lot of points against Palace. Uh, I think Jesus will start. Probably Sterling will start.
Or maybe
Fernandinho
it
for
is time
sure.
for
I don't know.
Aguero as well, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Maybe we see Aguero as well because Bernardo, Foden, Mahrez, and KDB they're starting in the semi-final. So yes, anything can happen. Aguero can be back. Yeah, so it can be anything in this match. But yes, if the creative engine is not there, because this year most of the creative players for City are De Bruyne, Gundogan, Bernardo, and Foden as well. And even Mahrez has been good too. So if most of the creative players are not there, then City may find it difficult. But let's see. It would be too much of a risk to bring in a City player knowing that he might be benched or knowing that he might just come for the last 20 minutes in that match. So it might be a bit risky because there are other players who are, you know, kind of sure starters. But so yeah, coming to my team, this is the overall team. But yeah, the 11 that I'm planning to start is again, like I said, I don't know if this is the right team as of now or not. So I'm confident about Alonso this time. I have Alonso, Dallas, and Stefani on my as my three defenders.
Yeah.
I'm confident about him because Chilwell started, and I'm expecting, and it was a 1-1 draw. So the second leg will be very important for Chelsea as well. And I'm expecting Chilwell to start the second leg. So maybe Alonso gets in a game here, but I won't be surprised if Emerson plays this match. I won't be surprised at all. But yes, and then I will be monitoring the United match too because I'll be having Fernandes, Rashford in my squad. So I'll be monitoring United's match against Roma, which will be a big match too. And United will definitely field their best 11. So I'll be monitoring that match too, how that goes, and when are the boys taken off. Uh, and because, and but the thing is, the match against Liverpool is so big that I'm expecting a good squad to play against Liverpool too. So yeah, I feel there are going to be two back-to-back good lineups from United. Seems that way, but yes, anything can happen here. And regarding Salah, the 2 3. So I have right now I have Trent, Shaw, and Jota on my bench. So I'm really tempted to bring in both Shaw and Trent because United's not really good with set pieces, and Trent is the master at delivering those ball in key areas. And Salah is somebody, even if he doesn't play well, he is at the end of the day Salah, and all he requires is one shot. We just saw what he did against Newcastle. That was a lethal finish from him. And Salah, all he needs is a penalty to be amongst the points. And so yeah, you never know what I'm going to go finally. But yes, like I said, I'll be closely monitoring the Europa match and then take a call on whether I need to bench the likes of Rashford. So good thing for me is because I'm starting Rafinha, and if Rafinha doesn't play any which way, because he might be fit, might not be fit against Brighton. So if any which way he doesn't play, I'll have at least Shaw coming up because he's first on my bench. And let's see what I do with Rashford. If I bench Rashford, then probably I'll have Trent coming in. So for Rafinha, automatically Shaw comes in, and if I don't feel comfortable with Rashford, I'll probably move him out, and yeah, Trent will come on. And regarding Alonso, it's how do I say? I don't know what's going to happen. If it happens this way, if Alonso doesn't play, then automatically again, so I have a good bench. If Rafinha doesn't play, if Alonso doesn't play, then Shaw, Shaw and Trent are the first two on my bench at the moment. And between Rashford and Jota, I'll pick Rashford ahead. Even if I'm sending Rashford on the bench, he'll be ahead of Jota on my bench. So yeah, that was again a lot that I told about my team. So what do you think, Kshitij? What do you feel about this?
I mean, a pretty interesting team, and I think we both have a similar dilemma that we face. That we have a good problem to have, that our bench is so strong right now that we have ample amount of permutation and combination that we can do to set up a team. My concern is Rafinha. Absolutely, like I'm not sure that he will he feature or not. But like you said, that is barely a problem for you. If he features well and good, he has a stronger fixture than anybody on your bench. But if he does not, then you already have, like you said, a good bench. I think the problem that you'll face is placing if assets on the first, second, and third spot, because like you said, you have Shaw as the first substitute. But given the point that you made regarding United in set pieces, and Trent, the ability that he has to deliver those lethal crosses, I think it might bode well to have Trent as the first substitute rather than Shaw when I look at it. But definitely Shaw, whenever United do keep a clean sheet, is a bonus point magnet. Is always there in the bonus. So a great problem to have, like I said, like you find when you find difficult to find words and put them into sentences to describe your situation. I mean, that is the kind of dilemma that we both face. All in all, a pretty strong team. I think even when I look at game week 35 and 36, I think you were pretty well set yourself as well. I
Not
think
like you though. Not like you because I have six players who are going to blank. So
so
not
maybe
like you.
you might have to take a hit somewhere here or there, but definitely you
No,
can.
I can't because there are three transfers, so I can easily start, removing three players. Because if I remove three, then I just have three players on my bench who are going to blank in game week 36.
Yeah, and
So
maybe
yeah, and I have three transfers.
this is where you might want to target the likes of Son or Kane, maybe because you don't have you
Yeah,
haven't had them in your team.
interesting. Yeah, so I think Kshitij, I agree with you over there. So like I said, I have six players who are going to blank in game 36. So Rashford will be one. So yeah, yes, at the moment I am thinking about Rashford. But again, I've been telling this for too long. Last dance for Rashford or not, but he keeps coming good. So let's see how he does, how much he's played against Roma. And yes, I think it's a good shout. Not just Son. Honestly speaking, even the likes of Jesse, he's looking very good at the
Yeah,
moment. He's just
absolutely.
looking so amazing at the moment. And I'm a bit tempted with Sigurdsson as well. Sigurdsson looking not
Yeah,
bad,
he started
and
returning points all of a sudden and is
yeah,
on the set piece
yeah,
duty as well. So that helps.
absolutely. And he's going to have a double game week. So I'm going. And between James and Sigurdsson, I don't know, but I just feel somehow that Sigurdsson is somebody who's more nailed.
And also, I
Could be
feel that
wrong, but
James now has kind of a role. He has been playing that pre-assist ball to his team. So he passes the ball and then it gets in a cross and then it gets
yes,
converted. So I think that he's
yeah,
started playing that kind of a role. So I do not really feel comfortable having him in my team
yes,
anymore. But absolutely, when Everton did start off the season, he played a pretty critical and offensive
yes.
role wherein he was providing
So
balls
yeah,
and taking the kicks, shots as well.
at the moment in the coming days, if I have to remove someone, I think it top three for that position at the moment. Uh, I think you wouldn't like the third pick, but yes, first is Alonso. After Fulham, bye bye. No more praying if he starts or not. Bye bye, definitely. Thank you so much for all your services. Second on the list is unfortunately Marcus Rashford, and third on the list is between Castagna and Shaw. So I don't think you like that, but both of them been doing really well, and they are in your team too.
No, but
So maybe you'll like it.
I can get behind the Castane shout because in 2 game weeks their fixtures go to absolute hell with United, Chelsea, and Spurs on the trot. So yeah, definitely,
Yeah, after two. But he
yeah,
yeah, but he has two. He has a double game week coming up. I think the United fixture is not a big worry for me at the moment because when he faces United, that's going to be in double game week as predicted as of now. It's not 100% confirmed, but as Ben Curran has said, this is the most likely situation. So in a double game week, you never know. What's going to happen
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
with Castagna going to play two matches. So yeah, it's on paper it looks pretty decent. To be really honest.
At least we solve for the problem statement of the upcoming game week. At least our teams look set. We have a good to have problem with a
Yes.
fairly strong bench. So yeah, I think when if and when the double game weeks or the blank game weeks are announced, I think that is when we still have to keep that in mind. And they won't be far too long, right? The announcements for the blank game weeks and double game weeks.
Yeah. Should be out after the game week 34 deadline.
So for us at least, and for FPL managers who are in a similar kind of a dilemma, I think game week 34 deadline post that will provide some sort of clarity where we can actually be able to plan as to how we want to move forward, and
Yeah.
definitely look forward to that.
Yeah. Because you know what, there's another situation rolling out on the Twitter community again by the great Ben Crellin. And he has said there could be a situation where in game week 36 there are just four matches, and in game week 37 there are going to be 18 matches. So this is another possibility. So everything goes out of the box now.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
all in all, I think what we can do is right now is bank our free transfers and hope for the best as to whenever the blanket and double game weeks are announced,
yeah.
if and when they are. But yeah, I
Mhm.
think great discussion around the FPL assets, and I think we've seen the captain picks already a lot. I see you all have, as ever, been a loyalist Bruno Fernandes captainer, and I'm definitely going to go with Harry Kane. because throwback to that time when Akshay mentioned that Harry Kane playing a weaker team. I think he was playing Newcastle and he just blindly went for Kane captain, and I did the same. I'm planning to do the same again. I mean, hard luck for Spurs on being beaten in the Carabao Cup finals, but I think they'll come back with a point to prove. I think Spurs, being the chokers
Mhm.
that they are, the trophy pressure got to them. But I think in the Premier League, they'll do a good job under Ryan Mason because they do have a lot to prove. And they are also
A lot
challenging.
to play for too.
Yeah, and they're also
They have a
challenging for
lot to play for.
Champions League. Yeah, absolutely. So definitely, I think Harry Kane will be a good shot. But yeah, please humor me, Anand. How Bruno, or why Bruno rather, against Liverpool?
Like I said, it's a rivalry, and it's a big one. And I found it really funny when Ollie said we have to manage our team against Leeds. We tried to manage our team because we had a big match coming up against Roma.
Hmm.
But don't worry about Liverpool; it will take care of itself. So that is what he said. And yes, although I will be checking the game, of course, this may change for some reasons. I remember last year, this was the FA Cup quarterfinal, and we were playing Norwich in the FA Cup quarterfinal. Bruno played 120 minutes in that match, and he scored a goal. And then next week he came back in the Premier League and
He
he scored a
scores.
brace or double-digit haul. That's the man. But yeah, he's been blanking for a long, long time. The
Yeah,
stats have
that
gone
is what
down.
I was coming to. Is that a cause for concern for you that he's been blanking for some time now?
Well, he has been blanking 100%, but is he taking a shot on goal? Is he getting chances? Is he creating chances? So you saw the match against Leeds. What do you think? Was he making good movement?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been a very vocal advocate about how since the day, I think last year, since Bruno has joined United, he's become an absolute pivot and fulcrum of the team, and definitely he's present. He's omnipresent on the field. He tries to deliver those balls. He's not afraid to take those long shots as well. So yeah, definitely for me personally, Bruno is always a good shot, but yeah, it does for me personally. Is becoming a cause of concern that he has been blanking for some time. But again, the law of probability always suggests that this blank run is not going to last very long, and I don't want to
You
miss
wouldn't
that one.
believe, but people were believing in the law of probability and they kept on captaining Salah and he blanked for 5 games.
Exactly.
So
So it goes either
yeah,
way.
it can bite you back too.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, there are some options. Yes, like I said, we'll be closely monitoring tomorrow's match, and there are good options this game week. Harry Kane is the standout choice, and honestly, I don't want him to do bad. That is what I feel, because what I usually think of is if you have a player like Harry Kane or whosoever, and if I don't have him, so my first thought that I get is okay, he had a good match. Do I have to change a lot in my team? Yes, I have to. Do I need to take minus negatives? Yes, I have to. So rather than that, can I back the player I have instead of say a Harry Kane? And yeah, so I think I have players who are not so clinical, but they balance it off because the teams that they're part of, they play for a much more attacking team than Harry does. So that is how I balance it out. And secondly, all I pray for is okay, if Harry Kane scores a goal, then at least my strikers, please come on, it's your time to show the world that why are you in my team. So that's what I feel most of the time. But yeah, I think he's the standout choice, the most safe choice this week. But since I don't have him, I have to try something else. And at the moment, it's Bruno. But yes, I think the likes of Chelsea guys, City, Liverpool
Maybe
again.
Leicester,
Even if
maybe even Leicester. I think you can take a
yeah,
punt on any Leicester
Leicester.
asset as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Leicester players. The likes of Dallas against Brighton or Trossard against Leeds. I don't know what. But yes, there are plenty of good fixtures, plenty of teams who will try to attack, and when teams try to attack, they leave spaces and all. So plenty of teams like that playing this game week, and hopefully it's going to be a high-scoring game week, and everybody gets good FPL points.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can feel the final FPL ruckus coming our way in the final 5 game weeks where we actually do not have no clue about who might be benched or who might not start at all. So that will be interesting as always. Uh, have a triple captainship left. Do you have that, Siddharth? So
Yeah,
that
yeah. I have the triple captainship left, and I have another chip left. Although it's not a chip, but I have my wild card left.
So I mean,
So
there has
yeah,
we
five.
have to now we have to really find a time to play a triple captain, and it might be a very tricky to pull off, given that how teams might have, you know, the rotation risk
Yeah,
like we've discussed. But I think yes, that is for a different time. That is a different problem to, and when
I'll
it
give you
comes.
my triple captain. If Grealish is fit, I'm if Grealish is fit for the double game week, I don't know, but I may go over there. If he's fit before that, as in like if he plays in game week 34 and in 35 if he's fit, then probably I'll go that way.
Definitely not a bad shout because I myself was thinking about going for the likes of Ollie Watkins because I do not really have Grealish and might not be able to get him if he's fit. But definitely, if I have to make room for somebody like Grealish, definitely not going to think twice about that, and instantly I'm going to get him in my team should the opportunity arise. But yeah,
Yeah.
great talking about Game Week 34, Anand. The great talk about all the FPL assets that the FPL managers and our community can target. And to all of our subscribers, listeners, and supporters, thank you so much. All of our social media links are down in the description. If you like the content that we bring you from an FPL perspective, please do hit that subscribe and like button. Really helps us as a lot as upcoming YouTube content creators. And as always, we hope that you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. And as always, may the arrows be green. Cheers.